So this is a little demo about how to use the orstda PHP MyAdmin database. So when you first log in to the database at the URL with the username and password given in class, this is the screen you'll see. And what you want to do right away is click on the database over here, orstda with the number 51. That's the number of tables in the database. So as soon as you click on that, you see a list here on the left side of all of the different tables. And then you see the same list of the information over here, and then some different operations tabs: a SQL interface, a search interface, a query, export, import operations, and again the list of tables. The three main tables are the crash table, which you can see over here with the record count of 622, the participant table, which you can see here has 1.3 million records, and the vehicle tab, which if we go over here and scroll down, has 1.18 million records. So let's just select the crash table, and as you can see, this now returns the structure of the crash table. So these are all the different fields in the crash table, and their names. This is the type of data that is in the field. So this is an integer 11. That's 11 units long. A variable character, which is usually text or a number, and different database types. So you probably aren't going to use any of the options over here, but you can use this button over here, this browse distinct values, to see what types of data are in that field. So let's just pick one that hopefully won't take too long. If we pick the county name field, and we pick browse distinct. So now it's done a row count on the number of crash records in the 11 years in the database. So you can see that the value of county name is just the county name, and you can see the counts of crashes over those 10-year crashes. So sometimes that's helpful, and you can also see the SQL query up here that returned that value. So let's go back to the crash table, and you can also browse it by hitting this browse tab. So you can see that this is the first record, and these are the fields across the top. And it's a pretty wide table. You can see all the different values. And the PHP shows you, the MyAdmin shows you 30 records at a time, so you can browse to the next set of records, so you can see that now we're at 31. You can also change the orientation, so we can look at this vertical, so we can change the vertical, and then we can hit show, and now the fields are oriented along the left, and the data goes across the columns this way. So sometimes it's easier or not to look at the different values that way. So the other thing you can do is you can use these other tabs as some helpful operations. So we can search the table, and it's sort of got a built-in prompt for us. So if we want to select county names, so let's look for all of crashes that happened in Baker in 2005. So we can use these different search characteristics. This is for text searches. This is an exact text match. This is as part of the text string, not like that or equal to that. And we can pick equal because we know that the county name is Baker, so we type in Baker, and then we know that crash year. Let's look at crashes in let's look at crashes in 2005. So we put those two parameters in this simple search query, and then we hit the go button. So now you can see up here that it's returned 225 records. The query took 6 seconds, and here's the result of that query. You can see if we wanted to change how many rows we could see all at once, we could change it to the maximum and have the database return all 225 rows, except it started at 30. Now the other thing you can do is just go to the export tab. So now we can export that query that we just ran, and we can export it in a lot of different options. We can export the SQL statement in PDF, a CSV file, which would be useful if we want to do some R analysis, or we can just export it as a CSV for Microsoft Excel. We can put field names in the first row. We can check down here to save as file, and then hit the go, and it'll give us the table, and we can go ahead and open it. And hopefully let's cancel that. So I think that was trying to dump the whole table. So now the database is thinking a little hard. So okay, so backing up here, where we've got the 225 rows extracted from Baker County, you don't want to go up to use this export tab to export a query that you've just run. You want to come down here to the query results operation and select the export option. And so again, we can select CSV for Microsoft Excel. We can put the field names in the first window, and we can pick save as file, and we can select if we want any compression. This is a pretty small file, we don't need any compression, so we'll just go ahead and select that. And I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. So you can see that the crash information has been extracted for your query from the table. Table names across the top, and all of the data is available. So that's kind of a quick tutorial on navigating and exporting data from the PHP MyAdmin interface to the crash database. So with the login, you don't have to worry. You can't delete or ruin anything in the database. It only has read permissions. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and shoot me an email.